What's up, world? What's up, Zion? It's Prince Easy coming at you again, once more. And well, I do have a couple slides as usual that I do want to share with you. This fine Sunday that we have here. All right, so yeah, let's get to them as usual. Right? So, okay. Well, they are rather scared of the truth, right? Of what is really happening on the ground. The same thing with the AES over there in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. They are literally scared of the reality on the ground, right? And in fact, they even create a situation to be viewed as backward, right? I was recently watching a video recording of Maduro, and for some reason, the camera that was used seemed like it belonged in the 90s or something. Well, I caught on like early on, right? I caught on early on, and I knew that this is part of their psychological operations. If they don't like you, they do not view you in a positive light, literally and metaphorically. Right? Yeah, people are standing up, right? People are standing up. There needs to be more of these people. What it is, well, if you ask me what is at risk, maybe your life, right? Maybe your life. Maybe you don't get to see your children. How about that? Maybe you don't get to see your loved one. That's what is at risk here. And we all know, politics aside, we all know what is going on and what is unfolding has been engineered. And now the world is so awake to a point that we know who are responsible. And as usual, I've done a great job of pointing them out. Well, again, I do believe Europeans cannot, some at least, they cannot differentiate between a Muslim and an Arab. But again, let's keep the context and ignore the ignorance, okay? So he asked, why do Muslims need to live in Europe? And he was given an answer. Because you're bombing their homelands. Full stop. That's what it is, and that's what's unfolding, regardless of your ignorance. So what? A European adopting Islam is becomes an illegal immigrant or something? This is what it has come to, right? These people are supposed to be working for you, but now they've been weaponized. How have they been weaponized? Well, look at their top echelon, right? The top brass in this case. And you get a picture of who they are really loyal to, because this is a clear symptom of disloyalty from the security forces, right? This is an illegal arrest or detainment, regardless of whatever, right? The whole world agree upon that, except these people, and all they can say is, we are carrying out an order. Well, the last trials that were held and people gave that excuse, it did not go very well for them. It's just, I don't know, cashing out or something. Huh? I saw this. Well, we are yet to see action on the ground. And I'm not talking about weapons, because weapons, if you are to supply weapons, then please add more coffins. Hmm? Department of War, okay. Hmm? That had invoked the creator and a Mason in the same sentence, right? Two opposing forces. Hmm? Yeah. Yeah. I smell the Saudis went to talk to the Chinese in secret, and this is how it came out. I'm speculating. Well, I shall make a whole separate video about this whole video, right? Well, there's a problem, or rather a catch. Where do you get these replacement organs? You can grow them in labs, but again, you turn to a proprietary technology sooner or later. Your whole body will be a property of the of the manufacturers, right? Because again, we're talking about what you own, what is yours, and a lab-grown organ is a product, regardless of how you feel about it, right? Or else you take it from somebody else, and I don't think people just give out their organs like that these days. But anyway, just food for thought. Hmm? 2 cover-ups in a single week. This has to be a new record, right? So he was an informant, and now he didn't even know this operation was going on. But apparently CNN has some intel that suggests that he knew that this app was going on. And this is how dangerous this whole situation is. So just assume, right, that this SEAL team of operators ran into Kim Jong-un and got a chance to eliminate him, right? Their whole operation was to plant a bug, apparently, right? But they ended up killing 3 people, and I don't know if the planting of the bug was accomplished. I don't know, right? So murky, right? But Trump didn't know, but CNN says otherwise, right? Well. This is a good development, right? Good development. And my suggestion to Tshisekedi is this. If you see this is happening and you don't get reports that this is happening, I've talked about it many times. That means there lies the first problem, right? The army intelligence is not honest, and it's not doing really its job. All of them people need to be replaced. You need to reshuffle the whole army, right? There are only 2 generals that are really respected over there in that region, in the eastern part of Congo. This is one of them, and the other one is the younger man, right? Motonini, something like that, right? He recently entered Uvira, if I'm not mistaken. Kwa hiyo kuna kazi sana hapo Kongo hapo. Mnasalitiana wenyewe kwa wenyewe, ndio maana mambo yaishi. Na mimi siwezi nikaingilia wenyewe kwa wenyewe mkisalitiana. No. I let it be mpaka figure it out. Okay? Figure it out. Right? So no more talk about Rwanda amefanya vile, Rwanda amefanya hivi, wakati nyie wenyewe kwa wenyewe hamwaminiani. Na hii ni a symptom to a very big problem. And in a state of war that you're in, this is not okay. Kwa waite watu wako unaoamini. Kuna watu wengine lazima kazi waachie ngazi, wawe tu askari wa kawaida, lakini bila hivyo mambo yataendelea kuwa mabaya, kwa sababu mimi ninachoona, kama alichoona kipindi kile cha mwisho kabisa na cover issue ya Kongo, kasema hawa VDPs hawa watakuja kugombana siku na jeshi, kwa sababu saizi tayari wameshakeana mipaka ya operation kwamba hawa interact sawa, kwa maana jeshi la Kongo na hawa wazalendo, they do not interact, they are not on good terms. Kwa ukitaka ujue ukweli, wafate kila mmoja kivyake, wakuambie mambo yao yote ambao wameyaona katika kipindi hichi chote hichi. Uwafate wanajeshi wako, waambie mambo yote, alafu wote wakae pamoja, mkosoane, mrekebishe nchi yenu. Hilo ndo mimi ninachowashauri. Yeah, this is another symptom. Everywhere you go, people get concerned. We just witnessed you on TV cheering on to the murdering of babies and raping of prisoners. How do you think we're gonna receive you? I mean, right? With highly suspicious eyes everywhere you go. It's a guarantee. Okay? Believe me, you done put yourself in a very dangerous predicament. Your own damn self. Yeah, the Philippines need to fight back. And I'm not talking about, I don't know, fighting for China. No, fighting for your own choices and whatever mistakes that you are going to make in the future, and making your mistakes, not some other being used as a pawn, right? There are many countries up there in north of China. They're like being weaponized, meticulously weaponized, and it's literally stupid. You need to do something about it, like fast. Well, don't say that. This is Africa, right? We are a shithole country, right? Full of released prisoners and stuff. Like, don't talk that like your life is hard in America. No, Africa, no, it's a shitty. Do not come back, please. We like you. We need you to be healthy. Please stay over there. This is their trend of not taking responsibility. That's why it's not a big deal. It's not being reported in any way, and nobody's being taking account to anything, right? And when people say that the president has abandoned his people, then I don't know, right? He sacrificed, right? He sacrificed babies for this position. So please, can look at that. This is quite a predicament. Talk about politics. My guy looks exhausted. Right? So, safe abortion services promote, or rather decrease, the mortality of children. Okay, RFK, please bring them back. I'm going to show you something. This was 6 months ago. So for you who are wondering how long this quote-unquote war or assault on Venezuela has been cooking for, 6 months ago, this is when the pawns were being moved. What happened 6 months ago? Well, Chevron, right? If I'm not mistaken, I don't know, American or American British or American French, at this point there's no difference, right? Because just like the synagogue of Satan over there in the Middle East, America is also a colonial project. They are the two biggest colonial projects that exist. Am I lying? What's the difference? Literally. Right now, let's look at another example that Chevron has been doing. Right? So 5 years ago, apparently they reported Chevron pulls American workers from Iraq. And recently, as in 9 days ago, as per the report, Iraq done signed a deal with Chevron. Now we know at least why, one of the reasons or the perpetrators of the Iraqi war. And of course, we all know that they wanted to tank or rather destroy the weaponization of fuel. And here we're seeing it again, playing in real time. What does this, or what's the cure of this disease? You tell me. Right? Because they want to garner sympathy from others, but give none. Just barbarism. That's what we get. And then we get, I don't know, looked upon as in like uncivilized or something. You know, the Westerners and America, they're out of their mind. Like really, and they're starting to even infect Eastern Europe also. Right? And whoever does not get spoiled gets called an Russian agent or something, you know. And here they go again. Now it's just another country. They destroyed Iraq and they got back the oil. They're going after Venezuela because of the oil, right? I literally, a couple months ago, I showed you a chart of the top oil producers. And the only people that have not been attacked are really few of them, right? And Iran was one of them, right? Iran was one of them. It was one of in the charts, right? So literally, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy, right? We're all going to be left with only a few countries, yeah? Saudi Arabia and all that, because they're playing ball and all. But this is what you get. Incitement in your country. Yeah, I've been following this guy for a while, and he's catching on. He's been catching on, right? Remember back in the days when I was telling you, please do not excuse his behavior. Do not try to explain what he's doing, his actions, and what he's saying. No, he is what he is. He is exactly what you see. Now people have gotten so accustomed to such behavior. Now he says he's an FBI informant, and of course, can't even, you know. Right? And he feels like he has the right to go after people, right? Like just he tried to go after Kim Jong-un, right? When they were negotiating, you know, there's a characteristic to this beast that we have to recognize, right? When they are nearing peace, that's when they are really desperate, right? It's a sickness, right? Yeah, but still, people are still under the delusion. What can you do? Right? People need to be listening to niggas what be saying. Right? People been saying, if they come after us, please act like a human and protect us, because sooner or later it's gonna be you, especially in Babylon. Right? So people are hoping that the implementation of this software will be revoked after the so-called migrant crisis has been averted. They think that then they will gain back their freedom and liberty and whatnot. I need people to catch on, please. I need people to catch on. and it's hard to catch on, right? How does a homosexual Catholic school shooter connect to the revocation of your gun rights? Or how does a ICE raid spyware is connected to what your future is gonna look like? And of course, must remember, it's an emergency, right? And emergency, that means they're gonna cut a lot of red tape to get it done quicker, quote unquote. And here we have NATO scramble jets. Now what is this? Are you part of the conflict now? This is not a NATO conflict. We're not dealing with a NATO member here, are we? Or are you a offensive alliance now, right? That your mask has been taken off, just like the Americans with their Pentagon and Ministry of War and stuff. This is highly sensitive, and I don't know if parents were involved, right? I don't know how parents were involved in the formation of the curriculum of what their children are gonna be taught about sexuality, because they do be having questions, especially when the topic hits. Everybody be excited. I don't remember anybody who has a different memory when it comes to this subject, right? Drewski, this is not funny. This actor's been out here. Look, he's shocked. But if you scroll on their own channel, they are talking about the LGBTQ rights and how Australia is a leader and needs to be like, do more. And now they are shocked to have a bearded female priest. Okay, this is perversion. Okay, this.
If anyone ever read.
Okay, fair use disclaimer. For review purposes that I'm playing this video for. Let's get.
Mein Kampf from Hitler. Hitler tells the world why he hates Jews. He says the Jews created communism. Jews are taking advantage of you. And people said, how? He says, the Jews are the ones that are in control of all of the banks that are lending you with high interest. And everybody said yes. Why? Because it was true. The Jews destroyed the economy in Germany by simply lending money with high interest. People that cannot meet.
And of course, people don't talk about that in Germany, just like in Japan, there was an economic miracle, they called it. An economic miracle. And this has everything to do with what they're talking about here and how that quote-unquote miracle came to be. Is the information relevant? Well, it depends. Is it true? Is the interest, or rather the money, the international monetary systems, do they lend money in a fair interest rate? No, actually they have a higher interest for poorer countries, right? Why? Because they're not really for development. They are looking for quote-unquote security. But hey, let's proceed. Right, so don't come after me. This one here is one of your own.
Demand, the business is not growing as high as they thought it was going to grow. Ended up closing down shop and saying, listen, I'm defaulting. You declare bankruptcy. You have to start all over. 500 years before that in Spain, the same thing happened. 900 years in England, it happened.
Yeah, let's not forget Russia, everywhere. Everywhere, the same thing. And y'all think that the world is broken, that the world hates you. Are you freaking serious right now? you Ashkenazi people. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? You're doing it even today. Am I lying?
1186. The Jewish people were doing really well financially. Primary business, lending money, ignoring the Torah rules. One day, the leader of
So it's even against your book over there.
the place goes on vacation. They're going to decide to start mass murdering Jewish people in the streets. Why? We're tired of paying you interest. We're tired of doing this. This Rabotai Karim is repeating the same story over and over.
Well, so this, I was just scrolling around on the interweb, right? And I came across a video from the grandson of the KFC person, right? And he was upset that he got blocked by KFC, right? Because of course he didn't realize sooner anyway that the image of his father is no longer the image of his father. It's a brand now, right? So he went on about how they are sexualizing his father with his brands and actually encouraging people to sexualize, you know. And he was really uncomfortable with that, and he got blocked by KFC, you know. And he did us a favor, you know. He gave us the okay, now we can all make KFC, brothers and sisters. Congratulations. Right? The world is wonderful, brothers and sisters. I tell you, the people have to realize how powerful they are, right? And how powerful information is, right? If you wanna get a target off your back as of now, you cannot keep secrets, right? It's a terrible idea. You gotta talk to a brother or a sister or somebody. Okay? So, this incident, well, again, people don't realize how the internet works. So he went into some guys, you can watch the story for yourself, right? But basically he went on a racist rant on this guy's channel, and basically the guy went to work to figure out everything about the guy, and apparently he's in the army and active, and he's gonna get him fired because he was a racist piece of trash. Human, if you call it that. Anyway. Another disclaimer. Fair use disclaimer, that is. Right?
God gave us the Torah. The Gentiles were jealous of.
You know what those pillars, those two pillars on the back right there? Do you know where they can be found also?
They feel that we think we're elitist. We think we're the chosen people, which, by the way, we are. We do think we're elitist. We are the chosen people. They think that we think only we are the children of God, and we do think that. And we're not embarrassed to say, only the Jewish people are the children of God. The nations of the world are not the children of God. They're not God's children.
Okay, agree to disagree, but if you're gonna freaking kill people over it, then you're gonna get killed, regardless of what your supposed God say, right? Because this is what it is, and this is what the world has been ignoring all this time, to challenge them on their biblical, which is not even biblical whatsoever. If you question them, you'll find out, right? But it's a game, right? They are playing both sides. There are people who pretend like they oppose what these people are doing, but deep inside, they are with them. They are with them. Right? And this grand deception this is basically a smear campaign on the Creator. Like, you are His favorite, you, the murderers that we are seeing today, like, we are not being programmed to think that you are murdered. No. You are literally talking like one. And you I don't know, you expect people to entertain such bullshit like that? You're gonna get exiled again. And I don't know where you're gonna go. You're gonna have to build an artificial island or live on a freaking, I don't know, cruise line or something. Because you are assholes.
They're God's creations. They're created with Selma like him. They're not God's children. And this creates a certain jealousy, and they don't like that. You know,
Jealousy. That's what it is. That's what we have. It's jealousy for these people that keep messing with our financials and our peace and our resources and causing wars here and there. Them along with their powerful European friends, right? And even some African friends. And we should be like all kumbaya and stuff like that. Oh, really?
there's an ethnical reason. They feel that we're elitist. We think of ourselves as better than them, which we do, and therefore they hate us.
Yeah, and these chosen ones, they got this special ceremony that they go ahead and snip a little boy, you know what I mean? And when they're cutting off that extra piece of flesh that starts to bleed while the little kid's just screaming, their special religious figure, he's called a moil, he'll get down there and he'll suck that, you know, to help control the bleeding. Yeah, I know there's some cases where the kids got herpes and some even died and all that. But me being a Gentile, I just don't have the mental and spiritual capacity to understand the holiness of a ceremony like that from these, you know, chosen ones, God's favorite people. Maybe one of these pedos can explain it to me.
But anyway, I put a pin on it right there. Let me not add nothing more. And we're going to hear from each other when we hear from each other. Prince Easy signing out. Love you. Bye.